All right, this weekend on UFC 292, we got a brilliant main event. We got an amazing co-main event. But Ian Garry is also on the card. Ian, the future Machado Garry, is on the card, and he has got a terrible back. His back is hurting.
Your back is broken.
What, a vertebrae or what portion?
Spinal.
And no, I'm not talking like Anthony Joshua.
My back. Is there a doctor in here? My back's gone.
Your back is okay.
I'm about to carry this heavyweight division to the top.
He said his back is hurting because he's carrying this entire card, because he is the one and only true superstar on this card. And if it wasn't for him, the UFC 292 would be going down the drain. Now, as we know, Ian Garry is doing sensational things. 12-0 right now, 5-0 in the UFC with 3 stoppages, and he was supposed to fight Jeff Neal. Now, he says that Jeff Neal pulled out with a bogus injury. He says that he's heard all kinds of different stories, all kinds of different tales and events as to why he actually backed out, and he's heard conflicting events as well. So he thinks that he got into his head by wearing that t-shirt with the mugshot on of Jeff Neal, and therefore he backed out, and now in steps in another Neal. This time, Neil Magny. Now, Ian Garry is not backwards at coming forward, and rightly so. Listen, he's fighting in the UFC. He's undefeated. He's 6'3", and he's taking people out in style. Listen, last time out against Daniel Rodriguez, a man that's a tough fighter. Ian Garry was the bigger guy. He was the faster guy, the better guy. Beautiful striking. He trains at Killcliff MMA with Henry Hooft and some of the best fighters in the world, and he's doing incredible things. So rightly so, coming into this one, he's brimming with confidence. When you're undefeated, you honestly feel like no man alive can beat me. No man alive. Because no one hasn't. When I was undefeated, I was 15-0. I thought no one on planet Earth can ever beat me because it hasn't happened. And like my mum always used to say, there's always someone bigger and better around the corner, so don't get into fights, Michael. And she also said it takes a bigger man to walk away. And she was right. So it just took me a long time to work that out. But anyway, back to Ian Garry. He says that this is the stage and the platform where I go in there. And as you say, I've got the likes of Sean O'Malley and Aljamain Sterling, all of these guys. But I am the superstar on the card. It happened in the last fight. It's happening this fight. The wheels are in motion. I just have to show up and the world will see. Now, regarding the matchup against Ian Garry, this isn't going to be an easy fight. Neil Magny's been around for a long time, but more importantly, 38 professional wins, been in the UFC for 10 years, but he's 6'3" as well, okay? So they're the same height, but that doesn't matter. I think when you look at the striking, Ian Garry is faster, he is sharper, and probably more powerful. But there's more than one way to skin a cat. As we know, this is mixed martial arts. Now, one of the most impressive victories for Neil Magny back in the day, 2015, was against Kelvin Gastelum. It was a split decision, but he was able to out-wrestle Kevin. He's able to just generally out-grind him. And that's what he's going to look to do against Ian Garry. He's going to push him up against the fence. He's going to get the body lock. He's got a great takedown from there. He's got good jiu-jitsu. He's got a lot of experience. 10 years in the UFC with 38 professional mixed martial arts contests, 7 knockouts, 4 submissions. So you could argue that that's a lot of miles on the clock. And it is a lot of miles on the clock. And the fact of the matter is, Neil Magny is no spring chicken. 36 years old. And of course, right now, coming into this one after a good win, split decision of Philip Rowe. I do think Ian Garry is more explosive. I think he's got better striking just in general. He's got better technique. He's faster and hits harder. And he probably will, in my opinion, get the job done. I really like Neil Magny. He's an absolute gentleman, but I do believe that there's a reason why Ian Garry is so confident. He is talking a lot of shit, and rightly so. That's what you want to do. You want to be known. You want to get your name out there. You want to set your stall out very, very high. And now some people, it's rubbing up the wrong way. Some people are saying he's too cocky. Some people are saying he's trying to become the next Conor McGregor and all the rest of it. Why not? Why wouldn't you want to be the next Conor McGregor, right? I'm talking about the double champ version in 2016 and the ridiculously loaded man that he is. Everybody wants to do that. Everybody wants to emulate that. And of course, McGregor, one of the big things about him was the Irish. The Irish, they were so loyal to him and they would follow him wherever it was in the world, okay? And this is going down in Boston. Remember, when Conor McGregor fought in Boston, that was a big coming out party. I'm sure the UFC put that fight on there specifically. And this for Ian Garry could be the exact same kind of night, okay? If he gets the win, if he gets a knockout, right, the Irish fans will be in the building. Boston is full of Irish, also full of Brazilians as well. He's claiming Brazilian because his wife is Brazilian. He just spent 2 months in Brazil as well, did a bit of training with Alex Pereira. So he's claiming the Brazilians, but more importantly, he is Irish, right? And that place will go wild. And a star will be born. If he gets the job done Saturday night, which I do predict he will, and I do think it will be another knockout, listen, there was a lot of fights for him out there. And Ian Garry is not backwards in coming forwards when it comes to naming future opponents. Now, a lot of people out there are comparing him to Paddy the Baddy Pimblett. Now, Paddy Pimblett's done incredible things, okay? Hate all you want, but he had a controversial win last time over Jared Gordon that kind of affected the stock a bit, if you will.
That was a close one. No, it wasn't. That wasn't close.
But the difference between these two is, listen, they both talk very well. They're both confident. They both fight well as well. But Ian Garry is calling out people. He's calling out the best people in the division. Here's what he had to. He said, I have to wait and see if there's other people that are being in talks. This is the thing. When you get to the top 10, there's only a certain amount of fights that you can call out because other people are matched. For example, Hamza is up at middleweight. You've got UFC welterweight champ, Leon Edwards. Everyone thinks Leon is going to fight Colby. Probably is, from what we know. Who's Bilal going to fight? Gilbert Burns is out injured. Who's Shavkat Rakhmonov going to fight? Who's Sean Brady going to fight? Who's Wonderboy going to fight? Right? He's saying their names. He is willing this into existence. You could say the buzzword right now amongst all the influencers is manifesting his future. But he says, you hear all these talks. I need to talk to my people and find out who is linked because I don't want to call someone out and have that fight not come to fruition. I have my people that I want to call out and I'm going to make it happen. When I win, I know who I want. So let's wait until Saturday and then you'll see. Trust me, it will be worth it. Now, out of all those fights, I think the person that he's going to call out is going to be Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. I mean, could you imagine that matchup? That's insane. Ian Garry, I love watching him fight. I love watching him compete. And I love listening to his promos, right? He's supremely confident, but on the feet, he will match up very well with Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. And as we know, Wonderboy's itching to get back in there because his last fight against Michel Pereira fell through. Shavkat Rakhmonov, he trains with Shavkat. Gilbert Burns, he also trains with him as well. Leon Edwards, yeah, he will be fighting Colby Covington from what we know. Right? And he's not in position to challenge for the belt just yet. And Hamza, yeah, of course, he's fighting Paulo Costa at 185. So out of all those people, Ian Garry goes out there. He's predicted their future. He's
Predict these things.
just like his predecessor, Conor McGregor. He thinks he's going to beat Neil Magny. So do I. And bet your bottom dollar, he will be calling out Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. And if he knocks out Neil Magny, you never know. We might just have Conor McGregor 2.0. What do you think? I don't know about that. That's a bit rich. I think Conor McGregor is a once in a generation, perhaps once in a lifetime kind of star that I don't think UFC will ever see ever again. But still, there it is. Thoughts on Ian Garry, the things that he's saying. What do you think? Does he win this weekend or not? Let me know. Subscribe, ring the bell. See you soon.